Hello and welcome to another video. Today I made a family tree for Elizabeth Taylor, a Hollywood actress. If you still don't know who that is, just Google and we'll be starting. So this is the whole family tree of Elizabeth Taylor. It's pretty big, 41 people. This is Elizabeth Taylor right over here, Elizabeth Rosamond Taylor. Taylor wasn't her last name after she was married, that was her last name her whole life, because she never accepted any of her husband's last names, so she used her last name Taylor. She was born February 27th, 1932, and died March 23rd, 2011, at the age of 79. Her parents were Frances Lynn Taylor and Sarah Viola Warmbrodt. Frances was born December 28th, 1897, and died November 20th, 1968, at the age of 70. And Sarah lived a lot longer. She was born August 21st, 1895, and died September 11th, 1994, at the age of 99, and she is the longest lived person on this family tree. Elizabeth's paternal grandparents were Frances Marion Taylor and Elizabeth Mary Rosamond. Frances was born July 3rd, 1860, and died November 7th, 1946, at the age of 86. And Elizabeth was born June 25th, 1869, and died in 1936, at the age of 66 or 67. Um, so her maternal grandparents were Samuel Sylvester Warmbrodt and Anna Wilson. Samuel was born October 8th, 1861, and died January 6th, 1948, at the age of 86. And Anna was born February 10th, 1864, and died February 7th, 1932, at the age of 67. So she died 3 days before her birthday, and she also died 20 days before Elizabeth was even born. So, because she was born February 27th, 1932, and her grandmother died February 7th of that exact year, so she died 20 years before she was born. 20 days, sorry. Um, Elizabeth was married like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Actually, she was married 7 times, twice with the same husband. But I didn't add the same husband twice because why would it make sense? And anyway, Elizabeth first married Conrad Nicholson Hilton Jr. He was born July 6, 1926, and died February 5th, 1969, at the age of 42. They were married, actually, they were engaged when Elizabeth was only 17 years old. They were married when she was 18, and they were divorced before she turned 19. So she was engaged, married, and divorced before she turned 21, which at the time was the age of consent for marriage. Uh, Actually, I think it's for women it's 18. It was 18, and for men it was 21. So Elizabeth and Conrad did not have children because their marriage was pretty short. Um, Elizabeth later married Michael Charles Gauntlet Wilding. He was born July 23rd, 1912, and died July 8th, 1979, at the age of 66. Elizabeth and Michael had two sons, Michael and Christopher. Michael was born January 6th, 1953, and is currently 73 years old. He was married twice. First, he married Betty Clutter and had two daughters, Layla and Naomi. Layla married Todd McMurray and had two children, Finn and Vivian, who were Elizabeth Taylor's great grandchildren, who were born when she was still alive. So she was a great grandmother when she was still alive. So congratulations. Naomi married Anthony Cran, and they had a son named Declan. Christopher, sorry. After Michael and Betty divorced, Michael married Brooke Palance and had a son named Tarkin. Although I don't know if that's a boy or a girl because that's not even a name. Same with Layla, that's not even a name, in my opinion. Declan either. I mean, Declan could be, but I don't like that name. Christopher was also married twice. First, he married Aileen Getty and had two sons, Caleb and Andrew. I don't like the name Caleb. And then they divorced, and Christopher married Margaret Carlton and had a son named Lowell. Um, so Elizabeth and Michael divorced, and Elizabeth later married Mike Todd. He was born June 22nd, 1907, and died March 22nd, 1958, at the age of 50. They weren't actually divorced. Mike actually died when they were still married. They had a daughter named Elizabeth Lisa Todd. She was born August 6th, 1957, and she's currently 68 years old. Oh, Christopher was born February 27th, 1955, and he's currently 71 years old. I forgot to say. Back to here. So Lisa, because she was called Lisa, she married Haptivy. What the hell is that name? And they had two daughters, Quinn and Riz. These are just horrible and fake names that, like, why wouldn't you just name them traditional names like Isabella or Elizabeth or Mary or like whatever else there is, but not why Quinn and why Riz? These are like horrible names. Same with Madison and that Allison. I don't like those names. I mean, I like Allison, but Madison not really because it reminds me of James Madison. Anyway, um, so after Mike died, Elizabeth married Eddie Fisher. He was born August 10th, 1928, and he died September 22nd, 2010, at the age of 82. He's currently dead, and they did not have children together. And they divorced, and Elizabeth married Richard Burton. They were actually married twice because first they were married, then they divorced, then they married again, then they divorced again, I think. Uh, so he was born November 10th, 1925, and died August 5th, 1984, at the age of 58. He was 10 days older than Bobby Kennedy. They had a daughter named Maria Burton. She was born August 1st, 1961, and she's currently 64 years old. She was married twice. First, she married Daniel S. Carton and have a daughter. They have a daughter named Elizabeth. And then later, she married Tom McKeown and have a son named Richard. Then Elizabeth and Richard divorced and then married again and then divorced again, I think, or maybe he died. I don't remember exactly. Then Elizabeth married John William Warner III. He was born February 18th, 1927, and died May 25th, 2021, at the age of 94. And they divorced, and Elizabeth married Howard Taylor, who was born June 27th, 1929, and died August 31st, 2020, at the age of 91. So his last name was also Taylor. Either it was actually his last name or I made a mistake while making this video, but I think his last name was Taylor. Let me know in the comments if I made a mistake or if that's actually his last name, because they have the same last name. So I don't know if she used her husband's last name in acting. Oh wait, no, she was known earlier as Elizabeth Taylor, so she used her actual last name from her father. So Elizabeth and Howard divorced, and Elizabeth married the 24 years. Wait, no, that's not. Oh, over here. She married the 20 years younger than herself, Larry Fortensky. He was born January 17th, 1952, so he was 20 years younger than her. And he died July 6th, 2016, at the age of 64. He died 5 years after her. So that's the whole family tree of Elizabeth Taylor. Let me know in the comments whose family tree you'd like to see in the future, and I'll make sure to make them. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video, which will be tomorrow at the same time. After tomorrow will be my last video for the whole week because I go to my grandparents' house to watch the World Cup. I'll be there for over a week, so in the meantime, there won't be any more videos. But tomorrow I will make one, and hopefully. And so thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.